Hard to believe we are 5 weeks done in this NFL season, and it still as wacky as ever. There's been a lot of overtime this season. Sunday night game overtime. It was battle with Texas. The, um, the Cowboys, the Texans played each other in Houston, and it was just crazy. It was just a crazy mess. It was gritty. It went down to the wire, and it also went down to a coaching decision, battle. Cowboys had 4th and 1. I think they were like past the 50, but not too long for a field goal. But what does Garrett decide to do? Punt it. What happens? Uh, 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 Houston goes off, not all the way, but Houston gets the field goal range thanks to DeAndre Hopkins catching quick moves, dodging the tackles, and Houston ends up winning. But before that dumb coaching decision took place, another one happened in Seattle. For the first time in Seahawks franchise history, Pete Carroll actually cost them a game. Also, for the first time in Seahawks franchise history, Russell Wilson didn't cost them a game. But I still can't believe it. I mean, I still can't believe it. Here was the scenario: the Rams were stopped. The Rams were stopped in their own side of the field. It was 4th and 1. Seahawks had a timeout left. There was over a minute left, so it looked like the Rams were going to punt. Seattle would get the ball. They wouldn't have to go all the way. They wouldn't have to go all the way. Just get the field goal range. They have that timeout in their back pocket. They can use it when they need to. And that's it. Game over. They don't won. Instead, when the punt already getting ready to set to take place, Carroll calls timeout. I mean, are you kidding? Why would you use that timeout? And even worse, McVay, even worse for the McVay, now I'm seeing that, well, Seattle can't stop the clock. It's a 4th and a short one. It wasn't inches short, but short one. Um, McVay decides, you know what? Get the offense back out there. And I think Goff takes it himself. First down, game over because Seattle can't stop the clock because some genius called their last time out. I don't get it. I mean, Pete Carroll's never cost Seahawks a game before. So this is very, very surprising to anyone who watches football. Uh, it, it, uh, I don't know. Maybe he finally caught. Maybe Russell Wilson's stupidity is so contagious it finally caught the coach. But anyway, like I said, for once it's not Russell's fault. But that put them in a huge hole. That was an important game too, because instead of being one game back of the Rams and it would have win over LA. LA's 3 games ahead and they beat Seattle, so the division's pretty much done. Um, so yeah, we had dumb coaching decisions. We had more overtime. Cleveland, speed of overtime madness, Cleveland, they wanted overtime. Isn't that something? The Browns went to OT against the Ravens in a game that was full of field goals, and their field goal in Cleveland fashion barely wobbled in. It was a short one too, but they beat the Ravens 12-9. That was their first Sunday win since all the way back in 2015. I think when they beat the 49ers. The quarterback in that game was Johnny Manziel. You know Johnny, the best quarterback the Browns have ever had since they come back. But they sabotaged him and screwed him over. So really, their bad stretch could be considered karma if I didn't feel so sorry for Cleveland. But yeah, so Cleveland now has multiple wins in a season for the first time in 3 years, and they have a chance to win back-to-back games for the first time in 4 years. They host they host the Chargers, which is fitting because before this season, the last win they had was against the Chargers. So so they could be over 500 for the first time of all while. So mm, it's getting interesting. The Steelers won a very important game. And speaking of, the Steelers won a very important game against Atlanta. So they're kind of swinging back on track. Kansas City is still undefeated. I don't know how, but they're still undefeated. And another crazy, here's another crazy instance that happened uh, this week. This week, but this isn't the crazy part. But Drew Brees, congrats to him. He has the all-time passing yards total. He surpassed it in the second quarter. The Monday night game against Washington. Now, the Saints went on to beat the bejesus out of Washington. And with that loss, that meant that nobody in the NFC East won. Nobody won. So really, the Giants, with all their problems at 1-4, they have a shot. Here's what the standings look like: Washington first place at 2-2. Um, Dallas is three. Dallas is 2-3. Philadelphia is 2-3 because they somehow lost to Minnesota. Come on, how do you lose to Minnesota? They stink. And the Giants are 1-4, but they have an outside shot. Dallas is the only team that's won a divisional game, and that was against the Giants. And the Giants start week 6 tomorrow night at home against the Eagles. Could the Eagles end up being in last place after this week? Time will tell. But but yeah. So speaking of Washington, this kind of affects my fantasy team. But Adrian Peterson, who I do have on my fantasy team, they say I heard he had a dislocated shoulder. He went back in the field, but the game, but he didn't have a lot of yards. So it's gonna be touch and go to see if he actually plays the next game. Of course, I'll be on pins and needles because, like I said, Adrian's on my fantasy team. I'm doing well in fantasy. I won 3 in a row. Hope to make it 4. But but yeah. So like I said, the NFC East is the NFC least this season. I think 9 wins may win it, and the Packers. As for the Packers, well, we took a step. We took a step back thanks to our not think well, our defense wasn't good anyway. Rodgers, it was Crosby. I don't know what happened. Was he abducted by aliens or something? Was, was, was he suddenly broken? I don't know what happened to him. But and he's on my fantasy team too. But thanks to his bad performance, missing field goals left and right, I'm benching him. Of course, I'm only benching him. He will not be deleted, so don't worry about that. But I don't know what happened. I think Crosby was abducted by aliens. I don't know. He was just missing field goals. I don't. Those points were the difference because Rodgers threw for 400 yards in that game. So as usual, the goat did his thing. Okay, so that is my recap of week 5. Week 6 is going to be very interesting. Pittsburgh won, but they're still kind of on somewhat ball time. They're playing the Bengals, so they'll beat the stripes out of them. I said Philly and the Giants starts the week. The Cowboys, who are in it for the division, host the Jaguars. Um, the Packers play Monday. We understand Monday night pack ends the week. Um, but before that, it's Chiefs and Patriots. That's going to be an interesting game. And no, that's not going to be an AFC Championship preview because the Patriots won't even make it there. And as a future Hall of Famer often says, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. So with that, I say enjoy Week 6 and the rest of the season. And congratulations to the Browns on doing what the Indians couldn't do when they game in October. Enjoy, folks.